Truman and Patricia are a married couple living a modest life, burdened by financial troubles. One peaceful night, their sleep is interrupted by an unfamiliar sound. Suspecting an intruder, they cautiously head downstairs, only to find a young woman asleep on their couch, clearly under the influence of drugs. Truman recognizes her as one of his clients from a party he hosted the previous night. He wakes her up and asks her to leave. Truman is a struggling businessman who frequently throws small parties at home, hoping to secure deals with his clients. That morning, he tells Patricia to prepare dinner for another client he plans to invite. Patricia, frustrated with these regular gatherings, confronts him. Truman tries to reassure her, saying this deal could help them pay off their debts and mortgage. However, Patricia's anger grows when she learns Truman has impulsively bought an expensive car to impress the client, despite their existing financial struggles. She suggests taking up a part-time job to help, but Truman insists she shouldn't work. Meanwhile, we meet Alex Weston, a wealthy businessman, and his wife, Marina. They live with their son, Robbie, and a houseworker named Belle. Both Alex and Marina are so caught up in their work that they hardly make time for family or household matters. One day, Belle reminds them about Robbie's upcoming birthday, but they casually ask her to wish him on their behalf. Robbie overhears this and feels hurt, but Belle steps in to brighten his day. She surprises him with a birthday cake and a thoughtful gift, bringing a smile to his face. This story paints a picture of two families, one struggling with financial woes and the other with emotional neglect, each facing their unique challenges. Robbie, feeling down, heads to school and waits for his crush, Cheryl. Summoning his courage, he asks her out on a date. Unfortunately, Cheryl gently turns him down, explaining that she is already seeing someone. Heartbroken, Robbie decides to skip classes and drives off aimlessly. Later, Alex finds out about this and confronts Robbie at home. He tells his son that he wants him to get into the best university, which requires good grades. As a punishment, Alex takes away Robbie's car keys. That evening, Truman hosts a dinner for Manson, a wealthy client he hopes will save his failing business. Truman is eager to secure the deal, but Manson seems uninterested in the discussion. Instead, he becomes infatuated with Patricia, Truman's wife. Manson starts flirting with her and even tries to touch her inappropriately, making her leave the room in anger. Patricia confides in Truman, hoping for his support, but he dismisses her concerns. Instead, he insists she go along with Manson's advances, saying the deal is crucial for their survival. Left with no choice, Patricia reluctantly complies. Truman allows Manson to take advantage of her, believing it will secure the deal. The next morning, Truman goes to his office, eager for good news. Instead, his assistant informs him that the bosses have been in discussions with Alex, a prominent businessman. Shortly after, Truman learns that the deal he sacrificed so much for has been given to Alex. Devastated, Truman pleads with his boss, Mike, to reconsider. However, Mike explains that Alex's reputation and success make him a better choice for the company. Truman is left shattered, realizing the price he paid for nothing in return. Devastated by losing the deal, Truman returns home and shares the heartbreaking news with Patricia. She is equally shaken by the situation. The next morning, Patricia is surprised to see Truman preparing to go to work, as he usually doesn't work on Sundays. Unbeknownst to her, Truman, overwhelmed by depression, goes to his office and takes his own life. The sound of the gunshot alerts the cleaning lady, who discovers the tragic scene and calls for help. The news of Truman's death soon reaches Patricia, leaving her utterly broken. A few days later, Patricia visits Truman's office to speak with his boss, Mike, about an insurance policy in his name. To her shock, Mike coldly informs her that the policy is invalid due to the circumstances of Truman's death. Heartbroken but determined, Patricia goes to her husband's cabin to collect his belongings. While there, she secretly steals critical information from his computer, vowing to avenge his death. Her first target is Manson, the client who had humiliated her and contributed to Truman's despair. Without hesitation, Patricia drives to Manson's residence and shoots him in broad daylight. Patricia then shifts her focus to Alex, the businessman who took the deal Truman worked so hard to secure. After investigating his routine, she discovers Alex has a son, Robbie. Patricia begins following Robbie to school, where she poses as a concerned parent and obtains a school letterhead. Using it, she writes a fake letter to Robbie's parents, suggesting that hiring a tutor would help with his studies. The next day, Marina, Robbie's mother, calls Patricia to discuss the letter. Disguised as Amanda, Patricia accepts the invitation and visits their home, setting her plan for revenge into motion. When Patricia arrives at Alex and Marina's home, Robbie is instantly captivated by her beauty and insists she should be his tutor. Marina asks when Patricia can start, and Patricia explains that she needs a few days as her house is under renovation and she needs temporary accommodation. Hearing this, Robbie suggests their guest house, and Alex and Marina agree to let her stay there. Patricia accepts the offer. The next day, Patricia begins picking Robbie up from school, often wearing attractive outfits. Although she starts tutoring him, Robbie is clearly infatuated with her. Over time, Patricia befriends Marina to gather more information about the family. She gains Marina's trust by helping with household tasks and learning her secrets. Patricia discovers that Marina takes pills to manage her anxiety, and she starts secretly adding narcotics to Marina's coffee and wine, slowly affecting her health. One evening, Robbie is shooting basketball in the backyard when he notices Patricia changing clothes in the guest house. Unable to resist, he spies on her through the window. Patricia notices him watching but pretends not to, deliberately engaging in provocative behavior to entice him. Robbie becomes more intrigued, but just as the situation escalates, Belle, the family's houseworker, catches Robbie spying. She scolds him and firmly takes him away. As Patricia's plan unfolds, her calculated moves draw her deeper into the family's lives, setting the stage for her ultimate revenge. The following day, Belle takes a day off to run personal errands. With Alex and Marina busy at work, Robbie is left alone at home. Patricia seizes the opportunity to visit his room, warning him not to spy on her again. She tells him that if he wants something, he should simply knock on her door and ask. Excited by her suggestion, Robbie eagerly follows her to her room. Once inside, Patricia tells Robbie she will teach him everything she knows. She coaxes him into undressing, kisses him, and the two engage in an intimate act. The next morning, Patricia strikes up a friendly conversation with Alex, subtly drawing closer to him. After their exchange, she returns to her room and finds Belle installing blinds on her window. Sensing that Belle could interfere with her plans, Patricia resolves to remove her from the equation. One day, when Belle is home alone doing laundry, Patricia sneaks into the house and goes to the basement. There, she sets a trap by stretching a thin wire across the stairs and removing the light bulb to darken the area. Later, Belle descends the stairs and trips over the wire, falling fatally. That evening, Robbie comes home from school, thrilled to show Patricia his improved grades. Pleased by his progress, Patricia rewards him with another intimate moment, further deepening her hold over him. As Patricia continues to manipulate the family, her dark plan for revenge inches closer to completion. When Marina returns home from work, she calls for Belle but receives no response. Concerned, she checks the basement and is horrified to find Belle's lifeless body. Struggling to cope with the loss, Marina arranges for the authorities to handle the situation. The incident leaves the household in shock and mourning. That evening, Patricia finds Alex playing snooker, visibly distressed by the day's events. She approaches him, pretending to comfort him and offering to help him relax. She seduces Alex, leading to an intimate encounter by the pool table. Unknown to them, Robbie watches the scene unfold through the window. Patricia, aware of his presence, acts as though Alex is forcing her, planting seeds of doubt in Robbie's mind. The following day, Patricia offers to stay and help Marina, citing Belle's absence as her reason. She continues her scheme by drugging Marina's coffee before serving it. Patricia also impersonates Marina in a call to the pharmacy, requesting more anxiety pills. The combination of drugs and stress takes a toll on Marina's health. Later, Patricia visits Robbie in his room, pretending to apologize for what he saw between her and Alex. She manipulates him by claiming Alex forced her into the act, further deepening Robbie's resentment toward his father. One day, while bringing Marina her usual coffee, Patricia mentions that her house renovations are nearly complete and that she will be leaving soon. The news unsettles Marina, but she doesn't realize Patricia's ulterior motives. As Marina's health deteriorates, Patricia's web of manipulation tightens around the family, driving a wedge deeper between them and advancing her sinister plans. Marina thanks Patricia for being such a good friend and helping her through everything. However, as she tries to stand, she feels a sudden wave of dizziness. Realizing something is wrong, Marina grows suspicious of her coffee and begins to suspect Patricia's involvement. That night, Robbie visits Patricia's room to say goodbye, as he is leaving for a university out of state and will be staying in a hostel. Their farewell leads to a passionate, intimate moment, marking their last encounter. The next afternoon, Robbie leaves for the airport with a friend, while Patricia also departs in her car. As evening falls, a heavy rainstorm sets in. Alone in the house, Marina grows increasingly anxious. Her fear intensifies when she receives unsettling phone calls and experiences power outages. Amid the chaos, she hears a noise from the basement. Grabbing a knife, she cautiously goes to investigate. At the same time, Alex returns home, startling Marina and nearly getting stabbed by mistake. Shaken, Marina tries to convince Alex that Patricia is dangerous and has sinister motives. However, Alex dismisses her concerns, unwilling to believe her accusations. The next morning, as Alex prepares to leave for work, he notices Patricia's car and recalls seeing a similar vehicle driven by Truman. At the office, curiosity leads him to search through Truman's remaining belongings. Among them, he finds a photograph of Truman and Patricia together, confirming that Patricia is Truman's wife. Alarmed by the discovery, Alex approaches his boss, Mike. Mike confirms that Patricia is indeed Truman's widow, leaving Alex shocked and concerned. Alex panics after learning Patricia's true identity and immediately tries to contact Marina, but his calls go unanswered. Worried, he calls the police before rushing home to save his wife. At home, Patricia enters Marina's room with a dark intent to end her life. She restrains Marina, tying her to the bed, and forces her to ingest a pill. Patricia plans to make Marina's death look like a self-inflicted tragedy. Just as Patricia is about to carry out her plan, Alex arrives just in time to stop her. With her true identity exposed, Patricia defiantly admits to everything she has done, including her inappropriate relationship with their son, Robbie. Enraged, Alex slaps her and, in the heat of the moment, pushes her through the window. However, when the police arrive, Patricia is nowhere to be found. She has managed to escape. The police assure Alex and Marina of their safety and help them calm down after the traumatic event. That night, the couple receives a comforting call from Robbie, who shares that he is settling in well at his new university. Relieved, they wish him well and hang up the phone. However, as Robbie goes to bed, Patricia is already there, waiting for him. The two share an intimate moment, turning off the lights as they lie together, leaving the unsettling truth of Patricia's actions unresolved.